Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome back to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 4. Had to skip round 3 this week because of some technical issues. And there's also no top 4 either because I never hit record. Yeah, I know. It's don't be surprised. It's not the first time that has happened. It was a Rescue Ace mirror match, so you know who the winner was. Yeah, so... But, I mean, you guys don't really seem to like mirror matches that much, so I figured I kind of spared you at the end anyways. But here we have a pretty interesting matchup. I think more interesting than a Rescue Ace mirror. We have the PK Horus deck on the left versus Labrynth, but it's not just Labrynth, it's Labrynth Unchained. I didn't even know this was like a combination that people were doing. I did not like this is the same opponent that I played round 1 at this tournament that I actually lost to after an extremely grindy game 1 and then basically just lost in time game 2. It's a very interesting deck. It definitely took me by surprise. But the PK Horus deck is a deck I've heard a lot of good things about. Definitely a very, very strong deck. Can put up some crazy boards. You know, like it's such a fantastic engine to pair with the Horus cards. It's obviously a very discard heavy engine, and PK has always been one of those decks that can play out of the graveyard through and through. That's why Forbidden Droplet in the past was one of the best cards you could play in Phantom Knight, because you could droplet your whole hand away and you'd still be good to keep playing. So long as you had a couple Phantom Knight monsters in grave here. So, and as you can see, we also have the Adventurer engine in here as well. We've already got Griffin Rider established, Fenrir, and you know, you have the Cherubini, which pairs well not only with Phantom Knight stuff, but it can dump Enchantress, which also happens to be a level 3 monster. So a lot of pieces fitting together here. Going to the Rusty Bardiche, sending a copy of Tornscale, another copy of Tornscale, and setting a Fog Blade. And they've also got Cloak and Grave, so they'll go ahead and use the Cloak here to go ahead and search out for a copy of Stained Greaves. Doesn't look like they have any Horus cards available yet. They might just be solely operating on PK Adventure right now, which is not terrible. So then go into Breaksword and then use Rusty to pop the Breaksword on the summon, and then Breaksword effect to bring back the 2 level 3s as 4s, and then we're just going to link those off into IP Masquerena, and that's obviously going to allow them to go into SP, Little Knight on the opponent's turn for 2 interruptions. We've also got Fenrir, we have Griffin Rider, and they do not currently have the interrupt available from Rusty because of all their zones, their zone placements. If Fenrir was in a different zone, I think they would have access to that pop as well. But I don't know if it's going to matter too much. Trap deck going against big combo deck. Definitely going to be an uphill battle. They do start by setting 2 and revealing Lord of the Heavenly Prison. So then we get so set cards cannot be destroyed on the field. So that at least prevents them from getting popped by like Breaksword. You know, with Rusty, but I mean, we have access to SP Little Knight. We have Fenrir. Well, I mean, they're face down, but let's say they have now have the access to the equip, the Rideable Dragon. They activate the Big Welcome Labrynth, and they're just gonna chain Griffin Rider there to negate. It looked like, and yeah, that's just a wrap. I mean, they had Call by the Graven Hand too, so. They were comboing through at least one hand trap there, and their opponent didn't even have a hand trap to begin with. So let's see if our Labrynth Unchained player can put anything up a little bit better than they did last game here in game 2. They're going to lead things off with the Pot of Extravagance, a random banish 6. Do see a Chaos Angel getting banished there, and I know that because I've played this player on this exact deck. I know that they play at least 3 Chaos Angel because they've summoned 2 on me. They're going to use Kuklok, set 2. Lord of the Heavenly Prison, normal summon Ariana. That's going to go ahead and search for a Labrynth card. I don't know about you guys, but if I have an Imperm against the Labrynth deck and I see them normal summon Ariana, I'm probably going to Imperm it. Obviously saving Ash for, you know, Big Welcome or Welcome, whatever comes first. It looks like they will activate the ulti, which is Big Welcome. Yeah, they printed the better one as an ulti, right? I mean, Welcome Labrynth is also good, but Big Welcome is obviously a little bit better. They'll summon out the one that rips a card from the hand. It's not silver. I think it's Lovely. Yep, Lovely. We'll go ahead and rip out a Torn Scales, and it's like such a minuscule. It's not even something that is hindering the opponent here. Like, you just set up a Torn Scales in the graveyard. Sure, that's one maybe they'd rather keep in hand because of its on-field effect. And you can see they're also discarding Sharvara off of that Stovey Torby. So now, and then they're linking into Soul Lord Yama. And they're going to go ahead and add back the Sharvara. So you can kind of see the Unchained engine coming into play here. So, yeah. I mean, if anything, think about it like Labrynth with Unchained Soul of Rage on board. Or even with the added Labrynth trap cards. I guess it's something, right? It's better than just like Big Welcome and Welcome being your only form of like engine. Like, you also now have like Escape, and you also have Unchained Soul of Rage. But we will see Imseti activate now. That's going to discard itself and Fogblade to go ahead and add a copy of the King's Sarcophagus and draw a card, because why not? I mean, we are discarding up to 4 times a turn. And speaking of discarding, there they go, discarding Happy to send the Dalmatef, and they do summon out all of the men here. Happy, Dalmatef, and Imseti. Kaben, it starts with the Q, the Earth one. I don't know if many people actually play that one, but we're going to see them overlay 2 of those into a copy of number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, from one of the best archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh's existence. I know it firsthand experience. I've shown you guys the wrath in which that deck is able to put upon any unfortunate duelist in which it comes across, right? So obviously an extremely well-renowned Yu-Gi-Oh card slapping there on the table right now. Try to play around Nibiru. It's one of the better things about this, the Horus engine, in my opinion. It's very versatile, right? You just get big 4 beat sticks on the field, and they all have a bunch of crazy effects. If any of them leave, or cards leave while they're on the field, like Happy just adding back 2 banish cards, like the grind game. Like I was watching a match play out in OTS of the Centurion deck, and the guy just kept adding back cards off of Happy, 2 cards like every turn, because the opponent kept removing stuff. It's just like mind-boggling the advantage these cards can provide and the pressure they provide on their own. But they're also just toolbox cards, right? Would either go into number 90 or Coach King Giant Trainer, which I'm sure many of you have seen in different iterations in various decks, or Zombie Vampire and Tearlament, etc., or any deck really. They open up a wide range of things. But the cost of a lot of card advantage. But again, Phantom Knight being like one of the perfect decks to go ahead and actually, fit into that discarding theme. Dark World would probably be the other one. But they've got Torn Scales on field. They've got Boots. They've got number 90. They've got Imseti. And they're thinking on how to sort of navigate this board here. They've got 3 set to deal with, plus Yama. And of course, they still have that Sharvara in hand, which they will go ahead and activate now. It is a quick effect. But Dark's got plenty of targets here to take from the opponent's graveyard. They're going to pop the Yama and summon the Sharvara. And they're going to go ahead and Dark take the Sharvara. I'm not really sure what the point of doing that was. But I guess either way, we're linking to Access Code Talker now. We're going to go access code on summon target Dark, gain 2,000, and then access code effect, banish Dark, and pop the Sharvara, which could activate its effect here since it did hit the graveyard. And it looks like that is just going to go ahead and resolve. And it looks like I think I just got a glimpse of Wandering Griffin Rider in the hand for our PK player. They're going to attempt to go battle phase here. I mean, they have game on board, so they can just threaten game. They're going to attack. They're going to activate Welcome Labrynth, and they're going to summon Ariana. Ariana effect, yeah, I mean, you definitely negate that, right, for sure. But they also have to worry about the Lord of the Heavenly Prison can come down now, and also since it didn't detach a Galaxy card, it's not going to destroy the Ariana, so it's just going to sit there on board. Yeah, they probably aren't going to be able to OTK this turn just because they still have at least a big Welcome set, and they still have the Lord of the Heavenly Prison in hand, so they'll attack over the Ariana still, and they're going to use Yama here in the graveyard. And yeah, it basically says if a card you control is destroyed by battle card effect while this card in your graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon 1 fiend monster from your hand or graveyard. Then you can destroy 1 card you control. So yeah, looks like they're going to bring out the Stovey Torby, and then they're going to destroy the Stovey Torby, or unless Photon Lord or Imseti attacked into that. But then they're going to go main phase 2 here. Normal summon out the Torn Scale, and then link into SP Little Knight. They're going to attempt SP Little Knight effect on the lovely Labrynth in the grave. And the opponent will chain the Big Welcome. And since that can special summon from the graveyard, they're going to bring out the target that SP Little Knight was trying to banish, which is lovely. And then that will get bounced back to the hand. And they're also going to use the Lord of the Heavenly Prison here to set what looked to be another Big Welcome on getting Stovey Torby back on the field as well. So didn't really do anything to that field whatsoever, despite having, you know, Photon Lord, access code, SP Little Knight. The board still looks pretty much exactly the same, which is the crazy thing about the Labrynth deck. You think removal and stuff like is normally good against a trap deck, but I mean at this point in the stage, with the deck where it is, like it's definitely easier said than done. Now is the point where we need even more removal, but you know, having gone through access code and SP, it's going to make things a little bit easier said than done here. So they're going to go ahead and link off again. With the SP and a Rusty, or sorry, not Rusty, Torn Scales into Rusty effect, setting Fog Blade, and we'll see what they decide to go ahead and add here off of the Rusty Bardiche. They're gonna send the gloves. It's been such a long time since I've seen Rusty off. I can't remember if it was a set and add or a set and send, but it looks like they'll attempt to end their turn here, and they're gonna use the Stovey Torby, discarding itself, and the Lovely to set the field spell. And then Ku-Klok will special summon itself, and they'll pass turn there, starting by activating the Labrynth field spell. And now they'll get that additional effect on any of their Labrynth spell traps. So they're going to normal summon Ariana here, and we'll see if they decide to Fog Blade it. Outside of this, I don't know what we're going to Fog Blade, but we'll see, I guess. I have no idea. This is not your average Labrynth deck, so. But, you know, there's not really anything threatening happening right now to the PK Horus board, so I guess just don't use it if you don't have to, if you don't absolutely have to. So now they're going to go ahead and link into another Yama, and that is going to get Fog Bladed. Let them commit a little bit more and use a little bit more resources for firing off the Fog Blade. I like it. I like it. And they still have a number 90 negate available. And they're going to fire off another big welcome Labrynth here. And they're going to chain wings, targeting the number 90 Photon Lord. And they're going to go ahead and summon out the Lovely, and that is going to allow them to pop the Rusty Bardiche, and this is going to trigger Imseti effect, which could be very, very valuable here. Which, again, like I said earlier, all the Horus monsters have very good, in quotes, secret effects. And Imseti's being that if another card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you basically just get to send a card on the field to the graveyard. And it looks like they just got rid of the field spell there. So, I mean, just free bit of removal for getting rid of the Rusty there. And now they're going to go ahead and use the Chandragleer, discarding D-Barrier, going to settle Labrynth trap. And then Ku-Klok getting brought back out here. And they're going to go ahead and use the lovely Labrynth. And that is going to get negated by the Photon Lord, I guess. And then they're going to synchro into Chaos Angel. That is going to go ahead and banish the Fog Blade. And then linking off the Yama and the Chaos Angel into the Unchained Soul of Anguish. And that's going to allow them to link off the Photon Lord into a copy of Muckraker. They'll go discard, bring back the Chaos Angel, banish the Imseti. And just like that, the entire board has been cleared, which is extremely impressive. It's the same thing that happened to me when I played against this deck. I definitely was not expecting it. They cannot use Muckraker as link material, I believe, this turn. I don't know if it's either this turn clause or just period can't be used like material. I don't think it is that strict, but they're going to go ahead and pass turn. They're going to summon out that Wandering Griffin Rider, which is now live to summon. They're going to use Gloves in the graveyard, banish to send a copy of Cloak, and then Cloak effect. Go ahead and search out for a copy of Boots. And then they'll get Torn Scale effect on a new chain to go ahead and special summon itself out since a Phantom Knight card was banished. But where do we go from here? We got to deal with the Chaos Angel. Muckraker adding protection plus 4 set back row now. And I think there's still a Yama in the graveyard for what it's worth. They're going to go ahead and summon out Breaksword, and they're going to use Big Welcome Labrynth to bounce it back as to not trigger its graveyard effect. Because that could trade with some of the back row, and then you obviously summon out 2 bodies as level 4s. We're going to use Wings now to revive the Rusty Bardiche. And we're just going to attempt to go battle phase with Rusty, attacking over the Muckraker. They'll protect just by sending off a Kuklok. And then they'll attack one other monster there. Set a card, end phase, Welcome Labrynth, bringing out another Ariana. That's going to add the Silver, and they'll special summon Silver and pass turn. And yeah, looks like they're just going to go ahead and mid defeat there. The grind game was a little too much for the PK Horus deck there. Especially once you start clearing off the King Sarcophagus. Really isn't going to be much coming back from that. So we're going to go to game 3 here, where we'll see the PK Horus deck go first. Discarding Imseti and Happy to go and search Sarcophagus, draw a card. Droll Lockbird, he says, I don't care. I have the QCR called by the grave to add insult and injury. And we're going to bring back both Imseti and Happy. Going to Zombie Vampire. And we're going to start milling some cards here, 4 from each player's deck. No monsters, unfortunately, for our PK player, but some from the opponents. They're going to take a Stovey Torby. Says, if I don't get a monster, you got a monster at least that I could use, right? And so he's going to go ahead and link into Dark. Dark's going to take that Stovey Torby again and link into Rusty, just like that. And Rusty effect is going to go ahead and resolve now. Setting a rank up Magic launch. Definitely wasn't expecting that. They're going to go ahead and not send Torn. Okay, we are sending Torn Scales. Looks like a copy of Boots in hand as well. And Triple Tactics Talent. To be able to look at the opponent's hand. 2 copies of Chandrag Leer. Copy of Skill Drain. And a copy of Big Welcome Labrynth. What to hit, what to hit. Looks like Evenly Matched was also milled off the top of the deck as well. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and shuffle back 1 Chandrag Leer. And now they have complete knowledge of the hand. Things looking pretty good here for PK Horus. They're going to go ahead and use King Sarcophagus, discarding the Boots to send a Dalmatef. They'll special summon Dalmatef. And the graveyard is plenty loaded now. They've got Fogblade, which can bring out the Boots, which is going to allow them to bring out Torn Scales, which will allow them to bring out Staingreaves. And they're going to link into Cherubini. That's going to go ahead and send Enchantress. Enchantress effect to banish. Go ahead and add a copy of Right. Activate Right. Get the Token and Fateful, which they have not used a normal summon effect monster yet. Or the effect of a monster that was normal summon this turn. So they're still in the clear to get that all set up. So that means we're going to get access to Wandering Griffin Rider this turn, which is going to give us an Omni Negate. And before they special summon Griffin Rider, they're going to activate Chandrag Leader to set a trap from the deck. They're going to try to use Kuklok, and they're going to use the Griffin Rider on that. Go ahead and shut that down. Then they're going to use Wings in the graveyard to bring out Staingreaves, overlay into Breaksword. Rusty will not pop, but they'll use Breaksword instead to pop the set, and then they'll bring back the 2 monsters as level 4s. They've also got the Draco back equipped as well. And they're going to go ahead and link off into IP, then link off those in Cherubini into SP, banishing the Big Welcome in the grave. And they're going to go ahead and pass turn there. Now, they don't have any way, technically, to stop any effects, as they don't have any negates up, really. So, I mean, our Labrynth player has that going for them. Also, you can notice by the length of this video right now, that this is near time being called, so both players are scrambling right now to play out their turns as quickly as possible, and also trying to desperately deal some damage. So Labrynth is going to pass back. They're going to try to get some damage in here. They're going to be able to activate Welcome and summon out the Silver. They're going to chain SP in response, banishing the Rusty and the SP. And they're going to just resolve a whole bunch of Labrynth effects, just trying to block damage. Yeah, it's pretty impressive how they're able just to block that much damage. Kuklok will get summoned back out, and they'll try to attack in with the Imseti, or the Dalmateth rather, and the Silver Labrynth will be there to block the damage. And yeah, that's a little rough. And the opponent doesn't have any monsters on field, so that Magnum in hand cannot be used as a quick effect in this particular manner. So this is actually going to end in a draw, despite that crazy grindy match that this has been, ending in a draw. So that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And last but not least, a big shout out goes to our current Divine level channel members, who are Pony Stark, Misfid, Cadillacs, HH Cyber, and Green. Thank you guys so much, as always, for extremely kind and very generous support of the channel.